Well, lots of scripture scholars over the years have tried to figure out why John would ask that question. Are you he who is to come, or do we wait for another? You think, John, you baptized Jesus. Remember that? Remember there was like a dove came over him? You heard a voice from heaven saying, "This is my beloved son." Do you have dementia, John? Have you gotten really forgetful? So there's all kinds of speculation. I will speculate along with the others. So last week, do you recall last week was John the Baptist too? And John the Baptist was down at the Jordan baptizing people, and his words were very fiery. The axe is laid at the trunk of the tree. There's a fire that's coming, and it's going to be a blaze on this earth. He was very sure of himself. He was a clear prophet. And he was telling people to change their lives, change your thinking. You're all on the wrong course. Come and get baptized. There's one coming after me who's greater than I. He was very sure. But how he describes it sounds like he expected the Messiah to come in and just take charge and destroy things and be the political Messiah that so many were thinking he would be. Now he's in prison. Now he's just sitting there thinking. And probably some of his disciples came and told him what Jesus was doing, or maybe he overheard it from the guards talking about what Jesus was saying. But things like turn the other cheek, go the extra mile, pray for your enemies, do good to those who hurt you. It's probably like, this is not what I was saying. I said, what? How could that be? So it's a bit of a reversal for John. He has to come to terms with the type of Messiah that Jesus is. It's not initially easy for him. But I would guess, and I know it's true of me, so I'm going to guess it's probably true of you, that all of us have to be like John the Baptist. We have to figure out who this Jesus is. Because he's probably not what we expect, or not what we want to have. And maybe that's it. We want Jesus to be a certain kind of Messiah. John the Baptist wanted him to be a certain kind of Messiah. But that's not the Messiah that he is. Let me give you a little rundown, because I think if you're like me, a lot of these things are true, and the Jesus of Scripture doesn't fit what I want. Because I would think that Jesus would make my life easier. But instead, Jesus asks me to take up a cross and follow him. I would think that Jesus would make my life secure and safe. But Jesus encourages me to open my heart and my life to others, making me vulnerable. I would expect Jesus to take care of the world's needs. And he says, hey, give them something to eat yourself. I would think that Jesus would give me whatever I pray for. And then Jesus tells me how to pray. Our Father, your kingdom come, your will be done. I would expect Jesus to be on my side in every fight. And Jesus instead tells me to pray for my enemies and to love them. I would think that Jesus would prevent people from dying. Instead, he says, do you believe in the resurrection? I would hope that he would heal all my relationships. Instead, Jesus tells me to forgive them 77 times. I would think that if I'm a follower of Jesus, he would make me number one. Instead, he says, you are to be the servant of all. I would think that Jesus would show up in spectacular ways. Instead, he shows up in the thirsty, the hungry, the sick, the naked, the homeless, the stranger. I would expect Jesus to do everything to take care of me. And Jesus says to his followers, you're going to do greater things than me. He's a different type of Messiah than we expect. He is the one who changes everything, changes our hearts. So it's an important point, I think, on our spiritual journey to begin to see that the Messiah is different than what we expected. We should have known from the very fact that what we're going to celebrate in 2 weeks at Christmas, that he was born in a barn, in a stable, among the animals, in the midst of poverty, and then has to flee his homeland to live in another country within weeks of his birth. We should have known that he is not the Messiah the world was expecting. But he is hopefully the Messiah of your heart. And he gives you a great gift tonight in that gospel, which is why I'm wearing rose, to celebrate this great gift. He says that John the Baptist was the greatest person born of a woman until he came. But once he comes and invites you to be a part of the kingdom, then you are greater than he. You are part of Jesus. You are part of his kingdom. He wants you there. And he offers you that great gift. And for that reason, we are filled with joy.